Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we have a fun one. I feel like I say that every video, right? But it's actually going to be fun. You guys might see the name above T. Higgins. It's Jalen Waddle. So basically what happened was, I think it was the 5th and 6th pick. It was either 4th and 5th or 5th and 6th. Basically it went Bengals who picked Jamar Chase and then Dolphins who picked Jalen Waddle. Instead, we're going to swap the two. We're going to say, what if the Bengals decided to go with Jalen Waddle and the Dolphins still were in need of that receiver and went with Jamar Chase instead. So they are still, in their second years second years. And I think that's fair considering you can't make it any different other if I went back to the last Madden, which I could, but not worth it. So, yeah, Jamar Chase here wearing number 83 won't really matter, but will be teamed up with Tyreek Hill and this Dolphins team is up to an 85 overall actually right now. I didn't even know that, but yeah, I mean a good wide receiving room, nothing crazy, but it still will do. And Eric Ezekiel, a guy I like, out of Texas Tech. But tight end wise, I mean you're good there, not great but good. You got Mike Gesicki at the top of that, but yeah. So I guess we're simming, and we're gonna see how Jamar Chase does as a Dolphin. And with Jamar Chase on this Dolphins offense, they are going 5-2. So not bad to start this season. We'll see what sort of numbers to us putting up. Nothing crazy. Touchdowns are up though, so hopefully some of those are going to Jamar Chase. And actually, a little bit of a disappointment. Cedric Wilson is getting more work than Jamar Chase at this point in time. And yeah, Jamar Chase is actually somewhat of a underwhelming story right now. I might have to put him in the slot and in the wide receiver one spot to take over what Tyreek Hill is doing, and hopefully it blows up for the second half. But right now, so far, it's not bad. 12 per reception is not bad at all. 4 touchdowns to start it off on the limited opportunities. So 1 out of 7 catches he gets goes for a touchdown, so that's not bad. Then Zach Sealer, someone that's actually been very solid for this Dolphins team this year, is a 78 overall, 26 years old. Maybe a future trade target for future rebuilds or whatever. But let's see what he can do in the second half. I'm going to put him in the right places, and we'll see what he can do. And the Dolphins find themselves going 12-5. Not bad for a first season with Jamar Chase instead of Jalen Waddle. But Tua Tagovailoa having a very solid season. I'm not sure what that whole contraption I did just now with my mouth was, but it was still a very good season. Jamar Chase leads the team. 2 receivers over 1,000 yards, almost goes for 1,200 apiece. This one almost goes for 1,300. 14 touchdowns. Very good season with the Dolphins. And I mean, maybe he could put something close to that up in real life, but I would bet more on the yards than the touchdowns. 14 touchdowns is probably a little bit more difficult to get than the yards, but. We'll go week by week, see what Jamar Chase can help this Dolphins team do in the playoffs. They already beat maybe the best team in the AFC with the Buffalo Bills, and we'll see who puts up the weekly award. It'll actually be Tua Tagovailoa here. Definitely limited choices for Player of the Week, but I mean, if he does it, whatever, right? Like, he's still got Player of the Week, so good for Tua, throwing to his guys. Doing what he needs to do, and then we lose 42-20, straight up murder by the Los Angeles Chargers, and we'll get to next season. So this isn't really meant to be like a career simulation of Jamar Chase on the Dolphins. It's supposed to be what if he was never drafted and had an instant impact, as good as he is in Cincinnati, if he'd have that impact anywhere else, and I think it's safe to say that in Madden, for sure he would. And yeah, I mean, I thought it'd just be a fun, small little video idea to record. And, yeah, I mean, Jamar Chase goes up to Superstar X Factor. They do draft a 4th receiver. And Natani Moody is now here. Connor Williams, they already had. Robert Hunt is here. And then they have this guy right here. I'll go ahead and start for him. They did lose Gesicki, brought in Foster Moreau, though. Alec Ingold there, and I did see Darrell Henderson will actually take the reins here, and Ronald Jones is there. Tyler Beatty, and a fully new running back room. Oh my goodness. Then defensively, what changed? Not much. Yeah, not much at all, actually. They got this guy, but that's probably about it. I don't see any other things. Keanu Neal, I don't think was here. Bradley Chubb, obviously here. And then Leighton Vander Esch, actually, is here. And then Alexander Johnson. I'm pretty sure that's his first name. Yeah, I was right. very old at this point in time. But in second season, we'll see what he can do the whole time in the wide receiver 1 spot and with him in the slot. And then Tua, I think, was at star development, so now to see him at superstar is good. And yeah, we'll see what this team can do. And the team definitely went down overalls, right? And we have a breakout defensive lineman. I don't think that matters. We are 2-5 now, so not the greatest start to the season after having a really good one last season. But we'll look at the numbers now. And, I mean, we can take a little stop in at the Bengals and see what they're up to. But right now, receiving-wise, Jamar Chase is having one hell of a season to kick off the season. Tyreek Hill actually has 40 or 11 more receptions than he does, and exactly 90 yards less than he does. So do with that information as you will, but I think that we're seeing a stud in the making. And then Jalen Waddle actually isn't producing all that great. I will go back to see what he did last season. I'm sure I can see that. Career stats in Cincinnati. He did put up 1,400 yards. That is way more than Jamar Chase, and the 9 touchdowns had. Jamar Chase had 14 instead. So those two roles reversed maybe wouldn't have been the worst thing, but I like the way that things played out. Two of the fastest receivers on one team, the Dolphins, and then Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are a dynamic duo over in Cincinnati. So the second half of the season, though, we're gonna have to see what can happen. And Dolphins finish 5-12. Definitely have seen better. And we'll go ahead to a very, very good season. Almost 5,000 yards, but 16 interceptions and 31 passing touchdowns is not great. 1,500 yards from Jamar Chase, 1,300 from Tyreek Hill. Both great seasons, 13 touchdowns to Jamar Chase as well. We'll go ahead and take a look over here at the Bengals and see what Jalen Waddle did as well. Very good receiving room over here, too. Hayden Hurst almost near 1,000 yards as well. Joe Mixon also getting heavily involved. What did Joe Burrow's numbers look like then? 5,300 yards, 44 touchdowns, 13 interceptions is crazy. Joe Mixon went for over 2,100 yards in scrimmage. Oh, never mind. Wait, rushing? No, he went for close to 1,900, maybe. I think my math is right. Just a little over 1,900. So, overreaction a little bit. But I think we'll go one more season and see how it kind of panned out. But this season was definitely not our best. And I can keep this franchise file around if you guys would like to see like the rest of it. And I can sim like 10 years into the future and look at both Jalen Waddle and Jamar Chase's numbers through the 12 or 13 years that they were each on their team. I think that could also be very fun. But we'll look at the Dolphins' new look team right here, heading into year numero tres, and then Jamar Chase, we're going to have to move up, and it is a change at quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo will be throwing that thing. A few different pieces on the offensive line, I guess. Now, and Elijah Wilkinson will come in. I think that's Elijah. I could be wrong. But, yeah, I mean, if I could choose, he'd probably be playing my left guard right now. Cedric Wilson's still here. Nothing else really changed. Defensively, anything really? Nothing. Barely anything has changed. Wingard comes in. Woohoo! But what is he really going to do? Yeah, I guess we'll just go through the season and see how Mr. Jamar Chase can do. And a little bit better numbers than last season. Nothing crazy. We are 3-4 and second in the division behind the Buffalo Bills, which is a hard pace to keep up with as they are 6-1. Tyreek Hill goes back up to a 99 overall after regressing, because I assume that he was at a 99. I'm not 100% sure on that, so do not clown me for that. And then stats and awards here. I'm really curious to see what Jimmy Garoppolo is doing, and it is just the playbook. 2,000 yards is fourth in the NFL. 14 touchdowns isn't far off the top of the league, I bet, as well. And then 4 interceptions is not bad at all. TJ Norris is the leading rusher. Nothing crazy. But Tyreek Hill stepping up into that wide receiver 1 role. And Jamar Chase kind of stepping back, even though Jamar Chase is the wide receiver 1 and in the slot. So I'm not really sure how that makes its way around. But, I mean, whatever. Emmanuel Ogbah with 9.5 sacks is very impressive. So we'll see if they can, if this Dolphins team can put some things together and really close the season well with Mike McDaniel's coach calling the right plays. And we ended up going 9-8, ended up being third in the division Bills kind of collapsed the second half, and Patriots were 11-6 and closed out the season well. What did Jimmy Garoppolo do? Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't that Garoppolo-esque or esque. It was fine. I mean, puts up the yards. Touchdowns are okay as well. TJ Norris stinks. Jamar Chase, another 1,500-yard season, 11 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, he's electric. And Cedric Wilson, speaking of electric, goes over 1,000 yards for first time in his career. I can almost put money on that. And then, yeah, Jamar Chase was solid. And I think that'd really much do it. I mean, I wouldn't really, go further in unless you guys asked me to. Jalen Waddle was second in his team in receiving as well, and 10 touchdowns. Junior Lake really taking the reins over there. I don't know. T. Higgins also there, not producing as well. I'm guessing that this guy was in the slot, so yeah, that'll pretty much do it for me. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys like more shorter videos like this one's probably going to be really short. I have 20 minutes of recording in total. Don't talk for some of it and cut most of it out. It'll probably be like a 13-minute video if I had to guess. 13 or even less. But yeah, that'll do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. And if you guys watched all the way to here, comment your favorite dog breed in the comments, and I'll know that you're like a real G and watch till the end, alright? That was cringe. Leave a like, subscribe, I'm out.